Hello everyone. Today I'm going to work on a concept art of my new OC, and in a meantime, I want to show you some tips and advice on that matter. And if you're interested, this could become the series, since the design didn't work out for me in the end, so I have a footage of me redoing it, thinking of which I don't really like it either, so shall we start? First thing that you want to do is to create an easy to read silhouette, because, basically, it's the first thing that our eyes recognize, and thus it's the most important. Lack of clarity in it will confuse our brains, and I am not sure you want to convey that feeling with your design. Here you can see me struggling trying to create a silhouette freehand even though I'm aware of so to say shape rules. Why you ask? 'Cause I'm pretty stupid, that is. Let's just listen to some pretty music. I'm hope it is 'cause I didn't choose it yet, while watching me struggling. Nice. Here you finally can see that I recalled the rule of basic shapes. I don't really know the name, I'm sorry, but I hope you got me anyway, and yeah, not a problem though if you didn't. I'll explain it, 'cause it really simple, even though it's super important. So the rule says that triangle shows danger, rectangles stability, and oval/circle represents something soft and calm. Actually, there's much more to that than just those meanings, but I'm sure you can figure it out by yourself. Your associations with those shapes will work just fine. Actually, you can create efficient design using only those, but many pro artists use shapes of anything, like, literally, a car, a school building, a plane, your grandmother's pie? Yep. I mean, if it works, it works. If your intention is to create something cuddly but in the same time dangerous, consider looking for object that conveys that message to you and take its shape, or you can create a new shape out of things that mean dangerous. And wow, it's so cute to you. Possibilities are endless, yoo-woo. Since my char is exactly like that, she's cuddly and chill, but dangerous. I was going for a combo of circles and triangles. Also forgot to mention the rule of thirds. According to Wiki, rule of thirds is the guideline proposes that an image should be imagined as divided into 9 equal parts by 2 equally spaced horizontal lines and 2 equally spaced vertical lines, and that important compositional elements should be placed along these lines or their intersections. Proponents of the technique claim that aligning a subject with these points creates more tension, energy, and interest in the composition than simply centering the subject. I guess this all mean that put your thing on thirds 'cause it looks prettier. I mean, if I had a choice of where to put a hat, I'd put her on 2/3 of a head. Does that explain it? Finally I'm finished with a main silhouette shape, and here you can see me refining it. Okay, listen closely. I think it's pretty important. You're probably wondering right now, like, why do I use different colors even though I didn't decide on a palette yet? There's actually a reason for that. At this point of time I'm working on details and I'm using different colors to make my life a bit easier, because it's simpler to look for the right proportions relation, about which I will let you know right away. So there's another side to rule of thirds. Not only you can apply it to visuals, getting answer to a question where to put thing, but also you can do the same with proportions. So let me explain. Let's imagine that our figure is 100%, and then divide it by 3 we'll get about 30% each part. So now let the most meaningful and large details, yes, usually you want it to be like that, take 60% and other less significant ones shall take the rest. The more significant detail is the more place should it take. Actually this rule you can apply to anything, but sorry I'm not gonna talk about it in this video. Now you can see me working on placement of my details, doing several versions to make sure that I came up with the best thing possible. Can you notice humongous mistake that I've made? Yes, children, please do use references. You may actually think that it looks cooler when you don't use them, but just believe me, you don't have a choice between using refs or not. You do that anyway. Just look, reference is a picture that you can see at this point of time with your own eyes, when an image in your head is the same but you can't see it clearly and probably you don't remember the half of details. Therefore, it's nearly impossible to come up with an interesting design going only from your head references. So why, you may ask, I decided to go without any refs? The answer is simple: I'm pretty stupid, and also it seems like I have a ton of spare time that I can waste on redoing my own work over and over again. Okay, let's go back to the video. Okay, I finally have chosen the best design that I have had, and after that I was just refining it, adding details there and there, cleaning up a bit. Here you can see that I decided to turn off saturation of my picture. I made it so I can check up on values, which are more important than colors, to which I'm about to move on, but let's talk values first. Values are in a way similar to silhouette, that is, brain sees them before colors, so if your values are messed up, it'll be hard for your eyes to distinguish what is what on the picture, which leads to confusion, which we wanna avoid, don't we? Therefore, you want to have each and every detail having its different tones so it won't fuse together, creating a mess. However, don't make it too high contrast if this area is not important. You can see that the most high contrast places on the char is her pale face, which is surrounded by almost black hair and super dark gray scarf. So if the face is the most important part, nothing on the char can have higher contrast than the face has. So we got again to our rule of thirds: the more significant detail is, the more place should it take, place or contrast. The key is to have hierarchy in every aspect of your picture/design. The last thing I do is coloring a char. I won't tell you the method of coloring it because I don't think it's really interesting, but I'm sure I can tell you a bit more about my thinking process behind it. Therefore, I know I told you about the hierarchy and proportions a couple of times, but I'll have to remind you again, because the same rules applied to colors. You have a main color, that will create the mood, then you have additional ones, that shall complement the main one, and you have contrasting color. Not gonna go into the details, but it's a color, which is a complete opposite of your main color, and to it you should give the less space of all, and thus it'll draw attention and will create contrast in an area that you need it to. By the way, don't forget about which place do you want to highlight and put your color contrast there. It all may seem quite challenging. I mean, looking for contrast here and there, proportions, etc., but do not worry, it's easy once you get the hang of it. Oh. And yes, I think it's easier once you do it step by step, so you need to manage only one problem at a time. And I think it's pretty much it. I told ya almost everything I know in this video. I hope you liked it, and if you wanna know more about some specific topics that I mentioned, please let me know down in the comments, or you could just say something nice, it'd be cool. Okay, now I'm gonna get going. Hope to see you later, byes.